First Amendment protected activity, so it cannot by itself form the basis of an investigation. But the best way to filter that out is to work with your intelligence colleagues who are looking at the target set overseas and to find people who are connected to overseas players. In this case would be people affiliated with the Iranian government, people known to have terrorist ties, that sort of thing. So you want to start with an individual here who you believe is connected to individuals overseas, because that's your chances of finding someone who is legitimately intending some harm are much higher with someone like that than they are just kind of culling social media to look for people who are saying things in support of Iran.
Right, right. Well, Andrew, Iran, as we know, has a network of proxy groups across the Middle East, not only Hezbollah, but other groups and militias like the Houthis in Yemen and militias in Iraq that aren't directly controlled by Tehran. So from a U.S. Homeland Security perspective, how difficult does it make it for authorities to detect and link threats back to Iran?
It's incredibly challenging, particularly when you're talking about people who might be affiliated with, let's say, Hezbollah, right? Hezbollah is a terrorist organization. It was created by the government of Iran back in the early 1980s. They are trained by Iranian intelligence operatives. They have all of the technology and the capabilities of Iranian military operatives. And they are probably the most formidable, disciplined, highly trained terrorist organization in the world. We also know for a fact that Hezbollah and their external security organization, those are the people within their group who are designated to commit terrorist attacks overseas, they have been seeding people in the United States for decades. We know this because we've found some of them and prosecuted them and arrested them, and some of them are serving time. Recently, as recent as 2022, Alexei Saad was arrested in the New York area, prosecuted in the Southern District of New York. Saad joined the External Security Organization in 2000, the same year he moved to the United States. So he'd been here for 22 years, conducting surveillance, getting trained by Hezbollah, learning how to build bombs, learning how to assess targets. He'd been doing that for decades. Of course, we finally caught up with him, and he's now serving a long prison sentence. So those are the number one priority people that the FBI needs to find right now.
Right. Long time sleeper agents. All right. There has not been a new national terrorism advisory bulletin issued by the Department of Homeland Security. Does that mean we're at low risk, or does that mean they're still assessing the situation?
I mean, we're definitely not at low risk. Anytime we go to overt hostilities with a foreign nation, you have to consider the very real prospect of retaliation here in the homeland. And nowhere is that more possible than with Iran, who's been kind of, preparing for this fight for years. I would suggest that the lack of communication, which would typically come as a joint communication from the FBI and DHS, is because they're not quite ready. They don't know quite what they want to tell us. They don't have that assessment in final form yet. But honestly, we should expect to see that very soon. The sooner, the better. The FBI needs the general public to be aware of this threat and to have their eyes open and to be contacting the FBI if they see or know something suspicious.
Andrew, in just 30 seconds that we have left, how much does the funding fight and the partial shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security affect its operations and our safety in the homeland right now?
I don't think very much right now. I think the DHS got a massive chunk of money just a few months ago. They certainly have enough to coast on for a while. And this is all absolutely essential work. This is the sort of work that gets done, whether or not the government is open or shut down.
All right. Well, we will be coming back to you, I hope, to hear more about how concerned Americans should be in the coming weeks and months as we know more. Former FBI Director Andrew McCabe, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
You're listening to Here and Now.
Hi, it's Steve Inskeep.
And I'm Mary Louise Kelly. You may have heard that prices for used vehicles are up. That car you've been thinking about donating to this station?
That car could be worth hundreds of dollars or even more in support.
If you don't need it, donate it. It's easy, it's free to you, and the proceeds help us bring you the news.
Learn more on the station's website.
Go to radioiq.org and click the support tab and select vehicle donation.
On the next Fresh Air, Jessie Buckley, the star of Hamnet, for which she's nominated for an Oscar and already has won a Golden Globe. She launched her career on a British TV singing competition with judges Andrew Lloyd Webber and director Cameron McIntosh. We'll hear what that sounded like. Join us.
That's Fresh Air, Monday through Thursday at 2 p.m. on Radio IQ.
Funding for Here and Now comes from the listeners of WBUR Boston, where the program is produced, and your NPR station, and MathWorks, creator of MATLAB and Simulink software for technical computing and model-based design. MathWorks, accelerating the pace of discovery in engineering and science. Learn more at mathworks.com. And Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort, offering small ship experiences with a shore excursion included in every port and programs designed for cultural enrichment. Learn more at Viking.com.
It's here and now. The rising cost of food has become a major source of stress for more than half of Americans, according to the Associated Press. One food tracker found the average cost of a dozen eggs rose from $1.93 in January 22 to a high of $6.23 in March of last year. A pound of coffee that was $5.14 4 years ago jumped to $9.37 this January. Dairy, beef, pork prices are near record highs. Brian Vines knows all about this. He's co-host of Talking Carts, a podcast from Consumer Reports about shopping on a budget. His team has a new report out, and we've got him here to talk about it. Brian, welcome to Here and Now.
My pleasure to be here. Thank you.
So Consumer Reports compared prices of common items from mainstream grocery chains in 6 cities across the U.S. The highest priced baskets cost on average 1/3 more than the cheapest ones, which is kind of staggering if you think about how much that is. Listeners may not be surprised that the national average found Costco was cheapest and Whole Foods was the most expensive. Tell us more about how the stores stacked up.
Well, to begin, we used Walmart, the closest thing America has to a national grocery chain, as the sort of baseline. So things fell above or below what Walmart charged for them. So we went across the country to 6 different regions and did some shopping based on the density of the amount of stores that we were able to put into the group. So we had a market basket and it had a lot of items in it. So we tried to make the best apples to apples comparison of looking for those national name brands. And the results were something that is startling on one hand, but on the other hand, you know where the expensive grocery stores are. But there were some surprises in the way that things stacked up.
All right, so tell me some of those surprises.
Well, something that may be surprising is just the amount of money in the price differences. In Chicago, we saw a box of Cheerios that was $8.99 at a Jewel Osco store there, but $4.44 at the Walmart. So there's several instances of these items across the country, depending on your respective region, where the savings were really bananas across town.
Okay, so you talked about apples to apples comparisons. I saw what you did there. I like that. But you tallied these prices over a 48-hour period. Grocery stores, though, carry different brands. They have various sales and loyalty programs. So is it difficult to make apples to apples comparisons?
It is difficult to make apples to apples comparisons based on those and a lot of other variables, but we did work that into our methodology.
Now, should we also be factoring in quality, like choosing organic produce, hormone-free chicken, or even just convenience when we're talking about the cost of grocery shopping? I mean, there's also the cost of not having to drive an extra 20 miles to a Costco or a cheaper store, right?
You're absolutely right. While we can look at the dollars and cents of it all, CENTS, we don't know if it makes sense for you to have to go all over to find the best prices on something. So when you're talking about if you're a fan of organic or you have to have a particular thing that makes sense for your family, those are all individual factors that we assign value to ourselves, but we were looking at the dollars and cents of it all.
Yeah. Well, I love a bargain as much as the next person, but it can be a lot of work finding the best deals. And I remember my mom used to clip coupons back in the day, but that is time consuming. So if folks want the best deal, but not the hassle, what should we be looking to do?
So while shopping is something that most Americans do at 2 stores or more, if you really want to manifest those savings, you're going to have to pour some time into it, whether it's just looking at circulars or doing that sort of cross-town dash when it's worth it.
Right, right. We also know that in the 2024 election, grocery prices, including the cost of a dozen eggs, was a huge factor in the way people voted. So are you hearing their concerns about food? Is that a common refrain?
People are always asking us how to save on food because they feel it's the one thing in their budgets that they may be able to control. You've got to pay your rent, you've got to pay your utilities, but food is a place where people can manifest some savings, and they're always looking for ways to cut that bill, but to continue to give their family nourishing meals.
Brian Vines, co-host of the Consumer Reports shopping podcast, Talking Carts, telling us about his new study on the cheapest and most expensive shopping carts in America. Brian, thank you so much.
Happy shopping.
You can hear the latest NPR news in just a few minutes. We'll be here throughout the day with up-to-the-minute reporting on the war in Iran and the tension that has been unleashed throughout the Middle East. There's even more this afternoon on All Things Considered. Here and Now is a production of NPR and WBUR. I'm Indira Lakshmanan.
I'm Robin Young. Yes, what she said. Stay right here with your terrific member station. Here and Now.
Funding for Here and Now comes from the listeners of WBUR Boston and the Museum of Science, Boston, where the whole family can discover indoor lightning storms, journey through the human body, and meet a 65 million-year-old Triceratops. Visit MOS.org to learn more.
Every morning, your neighbor turns on Radio IQ while making coffee. A teacher listens during her commute. A small business owner tunes in at lunch. These moments add up to something powerful. A community connected by curiosity and informed by quality journalism. When you become a corporate sponsor, you're not just reaching listeners. You're becoming part of the fabric that holds our region together. Be part of something bigger. Email WVTF corporate support at vt.edu.
Hi, I'm Nick Yee, Radio IQ's new Director of Content and Operations, reminding you that you can take Radio IQ with you wherever you go. Simply download the Radio IQ app and listen to your favorite NPR programming and local news. Enjoy.
You're listening to Radio IQ on WVTF Roanoke, WRIQ Charles City Richmond, WVTU Charlottesville, WVTW Charlottesville, WVTR Marion, WISE FM Wise, WQIQ Spotsylvania, WIUR Lexington, WEHC Emory, HD3 of WURV Richmond, and on 92.5 Richmond and 94.9 Fredericksburg. Radio IQ, a listener-supported community service of Virginia Tech, on your smart speaker and online at radioiq.org.
Fresh Air with Terry Gross is underwritten by the Davis H. Elliott Company, providing energy delivery services to utility and government partners since 1946. The Davis H. Elliott Company.
From WHYY in Philadelphia, I'm Terry Gross with Fresh Air. Today, Jessie Buckley, the star of the film Hamnet, for which she's nominated for an Oscar and already won a Golden Globe. She plays William Shakespeare's wife, facing conflicts in their marriage and the death of their son from the plague. After portraying a mother's grief, she found out she was pregnant a week after the film wrapped. She got her first big break when she was a teenager and appeared on a British TV singing competition. The judges included Andrew Lloyd Webber.
And all of a sudden at 17, I was standing in front of Cameron McIntosh and Andrew Lloyd Webber, and I was getting to perform and sing, and I was so raw and ignorant and innocent, but full of passion.
We'll hear how she sounded. First News.
Live from NPR News, I'm Lakshmi Singh. The Trump administration is predicting the U.S. and Israeli war against Iran will not be drawn out. The president's outlook is 4 to 5 weeks. President Trump was presiding today over a Medal of Honor ceremony at the White House where 3 U.S. Army soldiers were being honored for their sacrifices, 2 of them posthumously. Addressing the country's latest losses, President Trump expressed condolences for the deaths of 4 American soldiers in Kuwait as a result of the current war. NPR's Deepa Shivaram reports Trump defended his decision to take military action.
Trump says there were, quote, grave threats posed to America in the Iranian regime. He says the U.S. warned Iran not to rebuild their nuclear capabilities and that Iran didn't listen to those warnings. Trump also says that Iran would have soon had missiles that were capable of hitting the U.S.
An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat to the Middle East, but also to the American people, our country itself.
Trump claims the strikes on Iran.
Good afternoon and welcome to our 2:00 p.m. session of the Roanoke City Council on March 2nd. I'll ask our clerk, Ms. McCoy, to please call the roll.
Mr. Volleson?
Here.
Ms. Powers? Here. Mr. Hagan? Ms. Sanchez-Jones?
Here.
Vice Mayor McGuire?
Here.
Mr. Nash?
Here.
Mayor Cobb?
Here, and a quorum is present. I'm delighted to welcome the Reverend Joanna Pesor, pastor of Green Memorial United Methodist Church, to lead us in our invocation, and I will then follow that by leading the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
Let us pray. Holy One, be here in this room, in this space, in these conversations, in these decisions. But more than that, be beyond these walls where children play, people convene, hungry are fed, and lives are lived. Make our community into a place where divisions are broken down, wholeness is restored, diversity is a delight, peace is prolific, and unity is ubiquitous. Be with every one of your children here in our community, the ones who live in lovely homes with well-appointed doors, and the ones for whom are waiting the doors to open, whose bed is concrete or campground. Be with those creating better spaces and neighborhoods, our city employees, our teachers and administrators, our doctors and nurses and staff and emergency personnel. Be with all those who show up to help. This day we also come and remember that blessed are the peacemakers, and that has to start with us. And it has to start soon. Bring about your peace in Roanoke and around the world. Peace for each of our sister cities, for Ukraine, for Iran, for Gaza, for our own neighborhood corners and communities. For every mother worried about her child, for every parent anxious for their loved ones, for every neighbor concerned for another, for all of us hoping for you to make a way for shalom for all. May we not take for granted the blessings that we have, but may we utilize them to work for liberty, justice, safety, dignity, and hope for all. As we see you in the holy mystery of life, of community, of creation, of our own breath in our lungs, help us to offer your hope more and more. Give us broader imaginations, braver kindness, and deeper love. We pray trusting not in the work of our own hands, but in your power. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Reverend Pesor. I'm going to ask our Vice Mayor, Mr. McGuire, to please certify our closed meeting.
I move, with respect to any closed meeting just concluded, that each member of City Council in attendance certify to the best of his or her knowledge that only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements under the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and only such public business matters as were identified in any motion by which any closed meeting was convened, were heard, discussed, or considered by the members of council in attendance.
You do have a second.
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Bollison. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Paulson,
Aye.
Ms. Powers, Mr. Hagan is out, Ms. Sanchez Jones. Sorry. Vice Mayor McGuire.
Aye.
Mr. Nash.
Aye.
And Mayor Cobb.
Aye, and the motion is passed. Thank you. A couple of announcements this afternoon. The Council of the City of Roanoke is seeking applications for various vacancies on council-appointed authorities, boards, commissions, and committees. You may access the application online at roanokeva.gov to complete an application. The city clerk's office is also accepting applications for 2 upcoming vacancies on the Roanoke City School Board for 3-year terms of office expiring on June 30th, 2026. 3-year terms of office will commence July 1st, 26 and end on June 30th, 2029. Incumbent school board trustees are Christopher T. Link and Elizabeth C.S. Jameson, who is not eligible for reappointment. We are grateful to Dr. Jameson for her 9 years of service on the school board. Application and information describing the duties and responsibilities of trustees of the Roanoke City School Board are available on the City of Roanoke's webpage at roanokeva.gov, or may be obtained by contacting the city clerk's office on this floor, room 456, between the hours of 8 and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. The deadline to receive applications is Tuesday, March 10th, 2026 at 5 o'clock p.m. For any additional questions or information, you may contact the clerk's office at 540-853-2541 or by emailing clerk@roanokeva.gov. We move now to our presentations and acknowledgments, and we're going to begin this afternoon with our council shout-outs. These are opportunities we have to celebrate things that we've been a part of or witnessed in between meetings as council members. So I'm going to start with Councilwoman Vivian Sanchez Jones today.
My council shout out goes to Battalion Chief Rohr for his 34 years of service with our fabulous fire department. So thank you, Chief Rohr, on your lifetime of service.
Vice Mayor.
Oh my goodness, this is the first time that I did not have one ready. I completely forgot to pull one together. I will just thank everyone that has come out and reminded me to wear green for Women's History Month. I know we're going to hear a proclamation on that very shortly. So I'll keep my time today short and pass it along.
Councilman Nash.
Yeah, I will keep my comments. They're not really, one is a local comment that's unfortunate. I want to acknowledge and give my condolences to the family of Miss Kim, who was shot and killed yesterday. And I'm very happy that our wonderful police department were able to apprehend and find the suspect. And now we are in the phase of awaiting justice. But I just wanted to, number one, give my condolences to her and her family. And then also just make sure the community is aware that, you know, we as a city, the Gun Violence Prevention Commission, our council, our city manager, our police department, we do everything we can and are always thinking about innovative ways to prevent crime, whether that be from the community standpoint or from policing strategies. But unfortunately, sometimes evilness prevails and people do things that we cannot comprehend or plan for. And so it's also just as important to make sure that we have well-trained police officers, the latest technology, forensics tools, and all the above to be able to go after those that perpetrate crime, to bring those who commit it to justice. And we are committed to doing that. And separately from that, I wanted to just acknowledge all of those who have family members in the military. I have a cousin who's in the Navy, and he's on the way right now to the Middle East on a naval ship, the USS Ford. And so, we know what that feels like. And so our thoughts and prayers are with you all. And we pray for the safe return of all of our family members in the military.
Councilman Bollison. My shout out is to the Virginia Asian Advisory Board that was in town this past weekend for a town hall. If you're not aware, they're a board that liaises with our state governor to make sure that AAPI rights are being followed and improved here in the city, or I'm sorry, in the state. And so Mayor Cobb and I got an opportunity to talk with the leaders, and it was really great for them to come to Roanoke. A lot of them are from Richmond and Northern Virginia, and they were not aware of how diverse our community is. And so it was great to be able to drop that knowledge on them and make sure they spread that throughout the Commonwealth. And it was really great discussion with our local business leaders in that community.
So my shout out is to the Women's History Month, and we've got some incredible people that are getting awards today. And to welcome Laura Carnini as our first female city attorney. We appreciate everything that you've done. And I also want to do a shout out to our libraries. Now, since I've been retired, I've had the opportunity to get to go to the libraries and attend some of the wonderful things that they do there. They have a quilting group that meets, a sewing group that meets, and just all kinds of things. And so they're doing some remarkable things at our libraries. And so I just want to shout out to them and their staff for those fun things that we get to do. Thank you.
Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor, for giving me a second chance. I know when I pull up my calendar and look back a couple weeks, I can always find something that I got to do or attend that I appreciated and I want to shout out. And I was looking back, and Councilmember Nash actually joined me on this one, but on February 21st, I participated in the 11th Street Stakeholder Group Walking Tour that was pulled together with some of our economic development staff and a number of community members. And I was really impressed with that. And I just want to give everyone a shout out through economic development and our neighborhood groups that are working on revitalization of the different neighborhood villages around the city. I think that is an integral part of our economic development work, is revitalizing and making those more vibrant. And I really enjoyed that walk on 11th Street. So thank you for giving me a chance to refresh my memory, and thanks to everyone who participated in that.
Thank you. So I want to give a couple shout outs. One is to our Young Docs program in Roanoke. Saturday night, I was able to attend their third annual Give Them Their Flowers gala, which was held at the Holiday Inn Airport. And about 15 young docs from Washington, D.C. rode the train down that morning to join the celebrations here in support of our 5 Young Doc Roanoke participants. This is a program that was started 3 years ago. It was created by Dr. Henry Woodland to introduce young people, primarily young African-American men, to the field of medicine, to consider what it might be to become a medical student or to have a career in life sciences, health sciences, or medicine. And this is the 3rd year of our program. We actually are graduating one of our first students, and he also received during that a $1,000 scholarship in memory of Arnez Kirtley, who unfortunately died as a result of gun violence, but his family wanted to create this scholarship in his memory to pass it on to a young man who is going forward in a career like this. So it was a phenomenal event and an exciting program, and I want to express my thanks to Ms. Marion Ware and Ms. Cheryl Mosley, who really initiated this effort locally and have been the visionaries behind it. So, and then secondly, to kind of build on something that Councilman Nash was talking about with the conflicts in our world right now, we have a number of citizens and leaders in Roanoke whose home of origin is Iran. And so I want to make sure we remember them, think of them. Some of them have family members who are currently in Iran, and it's a very tenuous time for them. So thank you for that reminder. We're going to do a little shuffling around. I know that the real reason everyone is here is because of Women's History Month and proclamations regarding that, but we're going to delay that just a little bit until our city manager is able to get back with us. So we're going to do right now one proclamation for American Red Cross Month, and then a little bit later, after some of our business, and we don't have a lot today, we'll come back to that. So I'm going to ask Sandra Pratt, who is Sandra's on every board in the universe, but she's the board vice chair for the local chapter of the American Red Cross, and I'm honored to serve with her on that board.
Here we are again.
Show everybody your awesome sweater.
Oh, yeah, I'm just trying to spread the
Red
love.
Cross. Whereas since Clara Barton founded the American Red Cross more than 140 years ago, generation after generation has stepped up to deliver relief and care across our country and around the world, bringing out the best of humanity in times of crisis. Whereas advancing this noble mission, the volunteers and supporters who now give back to the Red Cross remain unwavering in their commitment to prevent and alleviate human suffering in the face of today's emergencies. Whereas the American Red Cross has provided critical humanitarian services, including disaster relief, health and safety education, blood donation, and support to military families for over a century. Whereas the efforts of the American Red Cross are made possible through the selfless contributions of volunteers, donors, and supporters who give their time, resources, and compassion to help others in need. Whereas the American Red Cross continues to embody the values of humanity, impartiality, neutrality, interdependence, voluntary service, unity, and universality, promoting a world where people are cared for and protected no matter their circumstances. Whereas March 2026 marks the celebration of the Red Cross's long-standing commitment to providing essential services, fostering resilience in communities, and supporting the well-being of individuals across the nation and the globe. Whereas by recognizing March as Red Cross Month, we honor the dedication of the countless volunteers, donors, and staff who make the mission of the American Red Cross a reality and inspire others to become involved in these efforts. Now, therefore, I, Joseph L. Cobb, Mayor of the City of Roanoke, do hereby proclaim March 2026 throughout this great 8-time All-American city as American Red Cross Month. Congratulations.
Thank you. I just would like to accept this on behalf of the board of directors, our volunteers, our staff, and our donors for this recognition. We appreciate the support of the City Council, of the city, and this region for all the work that is done. We couldn't do it without it, and it's so very important right now. Don't forget, give blood if you can, if you're eligible. There's always shortages, especially if you have O-type blood, and just let's lift up and support each other during this time. Thank you again for the recognition.
Get a picture.
Yes.
But before we do that, I want to say how easy it is to donate blood. It is. And the American Red Cross has made incredible advancements and are currently working on initiatives to increase outreach to people with sickle cell disease. So there have also been great changes made for people in the LGBTQ community to give blood. How often can you give blood? Every
56 days.
Every 56 days. So when you download the app and you donate blood, it tells you the date for your next donation. So you can just confirm it and show up the next time. The donation station and the offices are just down the street from the municipal building on Church Avenue. And there's also a very robust schedule of blood donor events throughout the community and throughout the region. So we're going to pop up here and get a picture, okay? All right, moving on to our hearing of citizens upon public matters. We set this time as a priority for citizens to be heard. All matters will be referred to the city manager for response, recommendation, or report to the council as she may deem appropriate. And we're grateful to Deputy City Manager Angie O'Brien for being here with us The first part of the meeting. Well, the whole meeting, but you're in this chair for the first part of the meeting. All right. Do we have citizens signed up to speak?
2 citizens.
Okay.
Um,
Before we get to their names,
Okay.
just a reminder, if you haven't spoken before council before, you'll just come up to the podium. The mic is live. There's a box in the upper right-hand corner. Green, yellow, red. Green means go. Yellow means you have a minute left, and then red means please wrap it up. If you're mid-sentence, mid-thought, we'll work with you to help you finish. We have 2 speakers today, which means that they can have up to 5 minutes. And so Ms. McCoy is going to call out those speakers, and you're invited to come up one at a time.
the first speaker will be Jasper Wilson, followed by Owen McGuire.
See Mr. McGuire. I don't know that the other speaker is here. What was the first
It's
name again?
Jasper Wilson.
I don't see Mr. Wilson. So, Mr. McGuire, you'd like to come on up? Welcome.
Thank you. Hope I don't talk too loud into this microphone. My name's Owen McGuire. I live on Brambleton Avenue next to Fishburne Park. I've addressed this council before. I think most of you all know me. I'm here today to speak about the proposed amendment to the deed of the property at Fishburne Park, the cottage property. I have a handout. I don't know if did you all get the handout there?
Here it is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go back to May of 2023, which was when council actually rejected the zoning proposal by the developers at Fishburne Park. About 2 months after that, the developers came back with a secondary proposal. And one of the main differences in that proposal is they portioned off about a half an acre of land along Brambleton Avenue and Clifford Street to be treated as, quote, recreational open space, just like the rest of the park is zoned. Since that time, within the last 2 years, the developers have allowed a food truck to operate directly in front of the cottage in direct violation of their own proposal to keep the property as strictly recreational and open space. If you'll look at the first page, you'll see a letter from the previous city manager stating what I just told you, how the property is to be treated as recreational open space. And then that is confirmed again in the highlighted sections of the contract that you see presented to you. And then on the third page is a picture of the lot drawn up. And the X marks the spot where the food truck is. Okay. This is only just one example of how the developers have sidetracked, have misled the community, the city, the council throughout this whole process. When council was asked to approve the contract as they did approve it, I think back in 2024, they were told by the previous city attorney and the previous city manager that the financing and everything was in order and they're ready to go. Then since that time, it's been one amendment after another, asking for more time, more leniency, forego the fines that we owe. We're going to get to it. It's just goes on. And now they were relying heavily on historical tax credits to use to finance the project. Well, there's just recently I received a letter from the Commonwealth asking me if I approved it or not to have the parcel designated as historic. Well, I'm wondering, why is that just now coming out? Why is it coming out now? They were supposed to have done that when they signed the contract 3 years ago. Just more and more. So what I'm asking you is to please delay your vote to modify the deed on the Fishburne Park caretaker's house or vote no on their request. The developers have a history of making promises they don't keep. The city has a history of not holding them accountable. It's time for accountability for their lack of being able to fulfill their obligations. Now that the city has a new manager and a new lawyer, there needs to be an investigation about the special treatment that the developers have received and how to proceed next with their incapable ability to complete the project. Thank you for listening to me today.
Appreciate your time today.
I beg pardon?
I appreciate your time today. Thank
I
you.
always appreciate you guys listening to me.
That's our only other
That's
speaker.
all, yes.
Okay. All right, thank you. We will now move into our consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine by members of City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of the items. However, if discussion is desired, that particular item can be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. So I'll ask now for a motion and second on approval of the consent agenda.
Move the consent agenda.
Second.
Thank you, council members Volleson and Nash. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Volleson?
Aye.
Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez-Jones? Vice Mayor McGuire?
Aye.
Mr. Nash?
Aye.
Mayor Cobb?
Aye, and the consent agenda is adopted. Regular agenda, we have no public hearings, so we'll move to our petitions and communications, and I'm going to head back down to the podium and invite Allison. Allison's not here, so I'm going to invite Amanda Holcomb and Rob Morrow to join me at the podium. These folks are with the Council of Community Services and also with 211 Virginia. So a couple of weeks ago, we were all in Richmond together to celebrate the 20th anniversary of 211 Virginia. It's a very special day. We were able to spend some time in both chambers to be recognized, the Senate and the House of Delegates. We had an incredible day of learning about the history of 211. Governor Kane was the governor when it was begun. He made the first call to 211. 10 years later, Governor McAuliffe made the 10-year anniversary call, and this year, Governor Spanberger joined us to make the 20th anniversary call. And 211 Virginia has just expanded through the years, and we're going to hear more about that in a few minutes. But as part of the celebration that day, I was able to share portions of this proclamation, but I wanted to share it here in Roanoke because the contracted provider of this service throughout its history has been the Council of Community Services right here in Roanoke, and they've done an extraordinary job. So whereas established in 2006, 211 Virginia is a free, confidential, and easy to remember statewide resource that connects individuals and families to essential health and human services through information and referral. Whereas 211 Virginia is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week through phone, text, chat, and online search, ensuring assistance is accessible whenever and however Virginians need help. Whereas 211 Virginia supports individuals and families during both everyday challenges and times of crisis, including housing instability, food insecurity, behavioral health needs, utility emergencies, and disaster response. Whereas in recent years, 211 Virginia has served approximately 100,000 Virginians annually by connecting them to trusted nonprofit organizations, healthcare providers, and public agencies across the Commonwealth. Whereas 211 Virginia is administered by the Commonwealth of Virginia and operated by the Council of Community Services, a nonprofit organization that has been headquartered in the city of Roanoke since 1960. Whereas through trained and compassionate specialists and a modern data-informed platform, 211 Virginia strengthens coordination across the health and human services system and helps communities respond to emergency needs. Whereas February 11th, 2026 marks the 20th anniversary of 211 Virginia's service, providing an opportunity to recognize its lasting impact and its strong operational roots in the city of Roanoke. Now therefore I, Joseph L. Cobb, Mayor of the City of Roanoke, Virginia, do hereby proclaim February 11th throughout this great 8-time All-America city as 211 Virginia Day. Congratulations. So we'll do our photo first, and then Amanda and Rob are going to give us a brief update on 211 Virginia.
Just a little bit that way. Thank you. Nope, you're good. You're good. Just a little bit. 1, 2. So I wasn't sure what order I was going in, so some might be a little redundant to what was in the proclamation, but happy to also speak off script on anything that we've been doing within 211 Virginia. But I am Amanda Holcomb. I serve as the Director of Community Engagement at the Council of Community Services. And as Mayor Cobb mentioned, we are a Roanoke Valley nonprofit organization that's been serving our community since 1960, so one of the older nonprofits within the Roanoke Valley. We're dedicated to improving health, ending homelessness, and increasing access to resources. And one of the ways we do that is through 211 Virginia. 211 is a contracted service of the Commonwealth of Virginia administered by the Virginia Department of Social Services. And the council proudly serves as the sole contractor operating 211 Virginia, connecting Virginians to the help they need. This year, as Mayor Cobb mentioned, we celebrated 20 years in our 20th anniversary. However, it's important to note that the council has been involved in information referral long before that. We were one of the 6 original centers that helped lay the foundation for the statewide system we have today. This work was codified in the Code of Virginia in 1984, and in 2006, 211 Virginia officially launched, transitioning from a toll-free number to the easy-to-remember 3-digit dialing code we have today, 211. And what a difference that made. By 2007, the 211 Virginia was serving 3 times as many unique individuals as we did in 2006. So knowing going from 11 digits to 3 really made quite an impact through our state. Since then, we have served nearly 2 million individuals and provided more than 4.7 million referrals to health and human services. A lot of times we're answering the call, but it's truly the nonprofits, faith-based organizations, government programs, and services who are doing that work behind the scenes. We accomplish this through the largest health and human services database in the state, which we maintain, and we are proud to be the only accredited information referral service in Virginia. And I know we had a really great event on February 10th. Today, I handed out some, or you, thankfully, handed out some of those packets that are in your, we have some totes, some packets. They include a 20th anniversary report presentation. It details kind of the trends and highlights on the last 20 years. One unique aspect of 211 is that we collect real-time data on community needs. And so Rob is here with me. He's our Director of Data Services, so he works with all the data, and it really does tell a picture of our localities, but also our statewide trends. And to no surprise, they mirror some of our national trends as well that are happening. So I invite you to look at your packets. You have a copy of the op-ed that Senator Kane wrote, the anniversary report, and additional information. Fun swag, fun goodies. I know Mr. Cobb is familiar with those, but invite you to have those. And if you want more, just reach out. So in closing, as a Roanoke Valley nonprofit, the Council of Community Services is proud to have been central to the statewide system. This milestone underscores our own ongoing commitment to connecting individuals to the resources they need and supporting the city of Roanoke and localities across Virginia in building stronger, healthier communities. 211 Virginia is available to all Virginians 24/7, 365 by dialing 211, texting CONNECT to 247-211, or going online at 211virginia.org. to chat, email, or search our public directory. So on behalf of the Council of Community Services and 211 Virginia, thank you for having us today.
Thank you both. Any council members want to ask any questions or any comments?
I would just want to say thank you. I actually have a couple of people that I know that you have helped, and they just would not have survived without your help. So thank you so very much.
And this data right here is to Virginia, but can y'all get location specific, like down to like Roanoke City purely, or?
We can, and so we don't want to steal Rob, our director of data's thunder, but we kind of split the state in 6 regions. We're within the Southwest region, so you will see Roanoke pretty represented as the most populous city within Southwest. So absolutely, we can narrow all the way down to the zip code. We know when someone is contacting us, we're collecting where they're contacting us from, what they're contacting us about, and how we're able to connect them to help. So Rob would be willing to dive into all of the data that we have. Yes.
Sanchez Jones.
I just want to say thank you. For many years, I worked at the refugee office, and many of my clients used 211. And my daughter worked for you guys until last year. So I know firsthand the challenges and the good that you do in the community. So thank you.
We truly miss your daughter. She was one of our bilingual community resource specialists, which thank you for highlighting that. We have a limited amount of bilingual Spanish-speaking community resource specialists. What makes 211 Virginia truly special and unique, you're speaking to a live person. When you can not do that, we do have translation services in over 200 plus languages. And recently, our public search is offered in over 10 languages. So if you go to 211virginia.org, check out that public search. So thank you for bringing that up, and we hope she joins us back on our staff soon.
Okay, I'll let her know.
Yeah.
Well, not only is this program a great resource to the state and to Virginia, but in terms of data, for any organization that's trying to get some real-time data on any number of topics, on how these kinds of issues, what people are calling for, where the gaps in services are, connecting nonprofits with each other to provide even more resources. 211 is a great resource for that. And my favorite swag is this mobile phone, cell phone. You can neither make calls on it, nor can you receive calls on it, and you can squeeze it.
Oh.
So that's why it's my favorite. It's a little stress reliever, right?
You can also throw it.
And you can throw it, and it won't hurt anybody. Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. So now we are going to move to our recognition of Women's History Month, and I'm going to invite council members Evelyn Powers and Vivian Sanchez Jones to head down to the podium, and I'm going to turn this portion over to you, Ms. Turner.
Thank you so much. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and members of City Council, the month of March is Women's History Month. It is an opportunity for us to honor the role of women in our society. This afternoon, we are proud to honor the role of 6 women in our community. The official colors of the Women's History Month are purple, green, and white. These colors represent purple represents dignity, justice, and loyalty to the cause of equality. Green represents hope and new beginnings. White, equality, purity, and freedom. These colors represent women who have empowered other women, helping to pave the way for future generations while lifting and raising up our community. As your name is called, we ask that the honoree comes forward. Each bio will be read by either Councilwoman Vivian Sanchez Jones or Councilwoman Evelyn Powers.
You start.
You want me to do first?
Yes.
Okay. Our first is Natasha Dudley. Natasha Dudley is a respected entrepreneur, real estate professional, and community leader with more than 27 years of experience in sales, finance, and business development. Her career reflects a deep commitment to economic empowerment, relationship building, and long-term community investment. As a successful landlord and real estate investor, Natasha understands firsthand the power of property ownership and strengthening families and communities. Her work in real estate is rooted in education, empowerment, and legacy building. In addition to her real estate career, Natasha is a dedicated small business owner whose longevity in business reflects resilience, adaptability, and a steadfast commitment to serving her community with excellence. Beyond her professional achievements, Natasha is a proud mother of 2 sons and a devoted grandmother. Her relationship is grounded in family values, faith, and a genuine passion for uplifting others. She believes strong communities are built through opportunity, mentorship, and service principles that she lives out daily. Natasha Dudley's impact extends beyond business. She represents perseverance, entrepreneurship, and community advancement. Do I read this?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Want
Okay.
them to go ahead and read the proclamations? Yeah.
And it's the same one, so they can just read one.
Now, we're not going to read the same proclamation 6 times. Just one.
Women's History Month. Whereas in the United States, Women's History Month traces back to the first International Women's Day in 1911 and was extended to Women's History Week in 1978. Whereas in 1980, President Jimmy Carter issued a proclamation declaring National Women's History Week, stating from the first settlers who came to our shores from the first American Indian families who befriended them, men and women have worked together to build this nation. Too often, the women were unsung, and sometimes their contributions were unnoticed. Whereas a year later, Congress provided bipartisan support and in 1987 extended the week to Women's History Month. Since 1998, the United States of America has recognized March as Women's History Month. Whereas the theme of 2026 is Leading the Change, Women Shaping a Substantial Future, this theme honors the women who have and are reimagining and rebuilding systems to ensure long-term sustainability, environmental, economic, educational, and societal. It recognized the powerful leadership of women in creating a future that is rooted in equity, justice, and opportunity for all. Whereas from environmental advocacy to financial reform, from community organizations to policy innovations, women are at the forefront and driving holistic change. Their leadership is not only addressing today's most urgent challenges, it's laying the foundation for a more resilient and inclusive tomorrow. Now, I, therefore, Joseph L. Cobb, Mayor of the City of Roanoke, Virginia, by virtue of authority vested in me by the City of Roanoke, do hereby proclaim the month of March 2026 Women's History Month, given under our hands and the seal of the City of Roanoke the 2nd day of March in the year 2026. Mayor Joseph L. Cobb, not Evelyn Powers. You're very welcome. Okay. Next, we have Dr. Brenda Louise Hill. Dr. Brenda Louise Hale is a 9-term president of the Roanoke branch NAACP and brings with her an impressive portfolio of service, achievement, innovation, and collaboration. Dr. Hale has been a division leader since 1994 as a financial representative with Primera Financial Services. She was with the Salem Veterans Affairs Medical Center as an LPN from 1982 to 1989 and as an RN from 1989 to 1994. She served in the NCOA Non-Commissioned Officers Association in Honolulu, Hawaii from 1977 to 1982 as a counselor advising military retirees and veterans regarding financial planning. She spearheaded Vanguard programs in various arenas, including fundraising for Special Olympics, and was president of the NCOA Tripler Army Medical Center chapter from 1976 to 1978. Sergeant First Class E7 Hale retired from the United States Army in 1978 and is 100% service-connected disabled veteran. She is a Gold Life member of the NAACP and holds other life memberships. She serves as the secretary of the TAP Board Directors, other board memberships to include Jefferson College of Health Sciences, Roanoke City Rescue Mission, Community Housing Corporation, and local colors. Dr. Hale is also the first African American elected as secretary for the Virginia State Board of Nursing in January 2008 and is the recipient of numerous awards. Dr. Hale is an individual of high integrity and is professionally respected within the region for community service. She works well with individuals and groups of diverse cultural, religion, social, economic, and political identities. She is always committed to community and service as an advocate for justice. She possesses the ability to act as an agent of change at the professional level in the military, healthcare, and financial environments.
It is my honor to introduce our third honoree. It's a dynamic duo, Kat Pascal and Ileana Sepulveda, who represent the Latinas Network of Roanoke, Virginia, a nonprofit organization dedicated to empowering Latina women through connection, professional development, business engagement, and representation in the Roanoke Valley. Kat Pascal is an entrepreneur, real estate professional, and community leader based in Roanoke, Virginia. She is the co-founder and president of Latinas Network, where she champions economic empowerment, connection, and leadership development for Latina women. Born and raised in Roanoke to Colombian immigrant parents, Pascal brings a deep appreciation for heritage, representation, and community advocacy to her work. In addition to her leadership with Latinas Network, Pascal works in real estate and serves with the Roanoke County Public School as a liaison for Spanish-speaking families, helping them navigate resources and opportunities within the public school system. Her entrepreneurial background and civic involvement have positioned her as a respected voice in the region's business, education, and nonprofit sectors. In 2003, Kat was introduced into the Junior Achievement of Southwest Virginia Hall of Fame, recognizing her outstanding contributions to entrepreneurship, youth mentorship, and community leadership across the Roanoke Valley. Ileana Sepulveda. Ileana is a technology professional and community leader who serves as vice president and co-founder of Latinas Network. She plays a key role in shaping the organization's strategic direction and programming, advocating for increased professional development opportunities and professional representation for Latina women in the region. Professionally, Ileana works at the Appalachian Power, where she serves in the telecommunications planning group. In this role, she has had the opportunity to contribute to infrastructure initiatives that expand broadband access and strengthen regional connectivity, particularly in rural communities. Her work supports economic development, education, access and technology advancement across Southwest Virginia. Ileana is a past president and current board member of the Project Management Institute, Southwest Virginia chapter, reflecting her strong background in project management and professional leadership as a part of the Roanoke 40 under 40 class of 2024. Though both her career and volunteer service, she is deeply recognized to building inclusive systems and ensuring that diverse communities have access to opportunities and growth. Thank you.
Next, we have Isabel Thornton. Isabel Thornton, Miss Thornton is the Executive Director of Restoration Housing, which she founded in 2014 out of a passion for historic preservation and affordable housing. She received a BA in Architectural History from the University of Virginia and an MHP and MPL in Historic Preservation and Urban Planning from the University of Southern California. She serves on the Board of Directors and the Real Estate Development Committee for Community Housing Partners, the Board of Directors for Carilion Medical Center, the Board of Directors of the Grove and Patterson, and on the Blue Ridge Interagency Council on Homelessness. Isabel lives on a farm in Botetourt County with her husband and 4 children. Congratulations.
No, you fit.
Okay, next we have Ms. Laura Canini.
Everything Carini?
Today, we have the honor of recognizing our first female city attorney for the city of Roanoke, Laura Carnini, Ms. Carnini, who joined the Roanoke City Attorney's Office in 2012 and has served as deputy city attorney since 2024, is a seasoned municipal attorney with expertise in Virginia municipal law, governance, litigation, economic development, procurement, public administration, and community initiatives. Her previous work to advance economic development objectives and her proven success in safeguarding the city's interest made her the ideal candidate to take over as city's chief legal counsel. Carnini, a graduate of the William and Mary School of Law and the University of Virginia, recently completed the Certificate in Leadership Training for new and aspiring Virginia local government chief legal counsel. Completion of the 2-year course of study certifies that she possesses the legal management and leadership skills necessary for success as a city attorney. We are grateful for the contributions of each of these women and for serving as trailblazers in our communities. Thank you.
Our next honoree is Sharon Pons. Sharon Pons has lived in Roanoke for approximately 20 years. In 2016, Ms. Pons and her family purchased Little Green Hive, and in 2024, Elderberries. Since then, her focus has been on expanding these businesses. Ms. Pons has been married to Leo Pons for many years, and they have 3 children, Liliana, Gabriel, and Lucas. Ms. Pons is proud to operate as a family business and working alongside several of her brothers and sister-in-law. Liliana Pons is the daughter of Sharon and Leo Pons. Come on. She is a proud product of Roanoke City Public Schools and is an English major at Hollins University. She is a lead barista assistant manager and has been instrumental in training new hires and mentoring baristas at the Little Green Hive. The Little Green Hive has 3 locations: downtown Roanoke, Grandin Village, and Daleville. Their coffee shop features fair trade, organic, and locally roasted coffee that strives to make each location a space where all people feel welcome. The Hive supports the community and partners with Sarah, empowering survivors of sexual violence. Recently, the owners have expanded Elderberries and will open a new location in downtown this week. Congratulations.
Manager, Deputy City Manager, Ms. McCoy, would you like to hop on in?
Oh, okay. Sure. Ladies and lead. If we're doing it, we're doing it. That's right.
We will need to double up just a bit. Yep. If you go behind Ms. Powers. Yep. That's perfect. You got it. All right. You're great. You are great. Yep. This is perfect. 1, 2, 3. Thank y'all so much.
Congratulations, everyone, and thank you so much for being here today. And I am really excited about elderberries downtown. You take, of course, right? 2 to 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
Sweet. Okay, nice. All right. Now into our reports of city officers and the city manager, and we have a briefing, which is our monthly budget report briefing, and I'll invite Ms. Turner to introduce that briefing.
Thank you, Mayor, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to introduce Aquanetta Harris, the Deputy Director of Finance, who will be providing our monthly update for the month of January.
Welcome, Ms. Harris.
Good afternoon, Mayor Cobb, Vice Mayor, members of council, Ms. Turner. January 2026 monthly financial report provides an overview of year-to-date financial performance, including revenues and expenditures. I would like to begin with our revenues. Just wanted to highlight a few of our revenues. We continue to see an increase in penalties and interest compared to prior year. It is $396,000 higher. This is again due to delinquent collections in real estate and personal property taxes. Sales tax continues to remain flat year over year, and we continue to see an increase in transit occupancy tax compared to prior year. That is $260,000 higher. Continuing with our revenues, non-local taxes are currently tracking below compared to prior year. The variance is mainly due to the timing difference in the receipt of funding in grants and aid in Commonwealth. Other non-local taxes are performing as expected. Moving to our next slide, which represents the base sales of the prepared food and beverage base sales. During the first 5 months of the fiscal year, we observed a consistent month-over-month increase in prepared food and beverage base sales. However, in December, we saw a decrease, marking the first decline this fiscal year in prepared food and beverage base sales. This is a new slide in the financial report. This slide highlights the timeliness discount for each month. The prepared food and beverage timeliness discount is an incentive that allows restaurants to retain a small percentage of the tax collected when payments are submitted on time. Our deferred capital maintenance projects and related financial commitments are highlighted in this slide. Elevator replacements, our total commitments are 3.5, and HVAC, mechanical and electrical upgrades, our total commitments are at 1.8. Finance will maintain detailed tracking of deferred capital maintenance projects and report the total of commitments on a monthly basis in the financial report. At 7 months into the fiscal year, expenditures should be approximately at 58% of the annual budget. Currently, total expenditures are at 52% of the FY26 budget. Finance will continue to monitor expenditures on a monthly basis. The next two slides provide a comparison of overtime and temporary wages expenditures, which reflect current year actuals compared to approved budget, as well as a comparison of the prior year actual expenditures. Compared to prior year, we are seeing a slight decrease in overtime expenditures. However, when compared to current year budget, overtime continues to trend slightly above the budgeted amount. Monthly temporary wages expenditures are currently averaging approximately $200,000. If monthly spending remains at or below $247,000, we are projected to remain within the approved overall temporary wage budget for the fiscal year. While some departments may exceed their individual temporary wage allocation, these overages may be an offset by personnel savings resulting from vacant positions within those departments. This concludes the January monthly financial report. Finance will continue to closely monitor revenues and expenditures and will provide updates on any significant changes throughout the remaining of the fiscal year. Do you have any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Harris. Questions?
Can you go back
Mr.
to
Nash?
the slide where it shows the meals tax for the month of December and where it was?
With the discount or the?
No, the one before that, please. I couldn't see that. Okay, 7,740. I just couldn't see that.
I'm sorry. I'll make it bigger.
Oh no, it's me. I need
Oh,
glasses.
okay.
I got to schedule my
Well,
appointment.
I have glasses and that's still hard to see.
Yeah,
So,
we'll make it
anyway. I did want to, if you can go to the next slide, thank you. I did want to share a little bit of additional information from the Commissioner of the Revenue who helps track this for the payment discount. So when we approved the 2-year increase in the food and beverage tax, we also included a 1% discount for on-time payments. And as of December 25, we had a total of 507 businesses reporting receipts subject to prepared food and beverage tax. Of those, 372 qualified for the timely filing and payment discount. So I'm glad that our restaurants and food and beverage providers are taking advantage of this. And from the ones I've talked to, they're grateful for it. The other thing I wanted to ask about, I know we've been making a conscientious effort to not only reduce the amount of overtime and temp wages, but to transition most of that to the budget as opposed to paying for it with vacancy savings or end-of-year funds. And I know we're seeing some improvement in that regard. Can you share a little bit more information about how that process is going?
Yeah, so finance is doing a really good job, not just finance, but finance and the department directors are doing a really good job of tracking and really being looking at it holistically and ensuring that we stay within budget. We do have certain areas like our public safety, but we're also looking at those that are under their budgeted amount, and hopefully we can offset it by that. So I think we're doing a much better job of making sure that we're tracking it. Our budget team meets with the departments on a monthly basis, and they're going over their budgets and their numbers to ensure that everyone is on the same page as relates to where we are budgetarily.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right. Thank you, Ms. Turner. Thank you, Ms. Harris. We
Thank you.
appreciate it. Now we're going to move into our items recommended for action.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You have one more
thought.
question?
Yeah, and I wrote this down to remember to say this and then forgot to say it. When we when we do these like for our like budgeting process and things of that nature, can we make sure to send it to our senators and delegates, well, our delegates and our senator at the state level so that they're aware, or give them some sort of like
Our draft budgets
information.
as we're moving forward. So when we present our draft budget, that budget,
Yeah.
yeah,
Or
we can
just
make sure.
something so that they're connected on our financial position. Because I've reached out to some of them and talked to some of them, and I've had to do a lot of like telling them of like what's going on exactly in detail, and I can't do it as good as y'all do it.
All right.
But just something we can send them so that they're abreast of what's going on in our current situation that we're facing.
So what we'll do for the March 23rd briefing, which is where we present the recommended budget, we'll send them a link to that, and we'll also provide them with a copy of the presentation.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great point. All right, now we're going to move into our items recommended for action. Item A is the adoption of the 2025 Roanoke Valley Allegheny Regional Hazard Mitigation Plan, which includes the city of Roanoke. We have one measure, a resolution, and I'll entertain a motion and second on the resolution.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Thank you. Council members Volleson and Nash. Madam Clerk, will you please read the title paragraph?
A resolution adopting the 2025 Roanoke Valley Allegheny Regional Hazard Mitigation Plan, which includes the city of Roanoke, and authorizing the city manager or designee to take such action as may be needed to adopt and implement such plan.
Thank you. We did receive a briefing on this at our last meeting. Is there any discussion, or Ms. Turner, do you have anything to add to this?
No,
Okay.
thank you.
Any questions or comments by council? Right, Madam Clerk, if you will please call the roll.
Mr. Volleson?
Aye.
Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez Jones?
Aye.
Vice Mayor McGuire?
Aye.
Mr. Nash?
Aye.
Mayor Cobb?
Aye, and the resolution is adopted. Item B is the acceptance and appropriation of VBR Sports and USA Cycling event proceeds. We have one measure, an ordinance. Entertain a motion and second on the ordinance.
I move the ordinance.
Second.
Thank you, council members Powers and Nash. Madam Clerk, will you please read the title paragraph?
An ordinance accepting and appropriating funding presented by the Virginia's Blue Ridge Sports and USA Cycling, authorizing the execution and filing of appropriate documents to obtain such funding, appropriating funds detailed more fully infra, and dispensing with the second reading of this ordinance by title.
Thank you. Ms. Turner, anything to add?
Yes, the majority of these proceeds from the 2025 USAC race are designated for trails and greenway maintenance. So we're excited that we get the 10,000 and we're going to move forward with it.
Thank you. And I'll just add that we'll be hosting the USA Cycling Endurance Mountain Bike National Championships again this year. Right. Any questions or comments from council? Madam Clerk?
Mr. Volleson?
Aye.
Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez Jones?
Aye.
Vice Mayor McGuire?
Aye.
Mr. Nash?
Aye.
Mayor Cobb?
Aye, and the ordinance is adopted. Item C is the acceptance and appropriation of the Operation Ceasefire Supplemental Grant. We have one measure and ordinance, and I'll entertain a motion and second on the ordinance.
Move the ordinance.
Second.
Council members Volleson and Nash. Madam Clerk, will you please read the title paragraph?
An ordinance authorizing the acceptance of the Operation Ceasefire Supplemental Grant made to the City of Roanoke by the Commonwealth of Virginia Department of Criminal Justice Services, authorizing execution of any required documents on behalf of the city, appropriating funds detailed more fully infra, and dispensing with the second reading of this ordinance by title.
Thank you. Any further comments?
Yes, the Virginia Department of Criminal Justice Services has awarded the Roanoke Police Department an additional $250,000, increasing the total supplemental ceasefire award to $450,000. The funds will support the purchase of supplies, equipment, and training for the police department employees.
Any questions or comments from council? I just want to say, express our gratitude for these continued funds to sustain this program. We've appreciated the longtime support of the state at many different levels, and this is just an extension of that work. Right, Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Volleson?
Aye.
Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez Jones? Vice Mayor McGuire?
Aye.
Mr. Nash?
Aye.
And Mayor Cobb?
Aye, and the ordinance is adopted. Item D is the approval of an agreement to modify the deed to the special warranty deed conveying approximately 1.1 acres and improvements for the former Fishburne Park Caretaker's Cottage at 2424 Brambleton Avenue Southwest. We have one measure and ordinance, and I'll entertain a motion and second.
Move the ordinance.
Second.
Thank you. That was Councilmembers Volleson and Sanchez Jones. Madam Clerk, will you please read the title paragraph?
An ordinance approving the terms of an agreement to modify deed to Fishburne Perk LLC between the City of Roanoke and Fishburne Perk LLC, authorizing the city manager or designee to execute such agreement and dispensing with the second reading of this ordinance by title.
Thank you. Ms. Turner?
No additional
Okay.
comments.
I know we have economic development folks here. We also have the Van Blaricums here. If there are any questions from council?
I had a question, Mayor.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, and maybe this is for city staff, but if there was any response to, we heard an allegation that there was an improper use of the property with a food truck. And I just wondered if there was any response or comment to that available for council.
The advice we've received from the zoning department is that a food truck is a temporary use and that does not require a zoning permit or any types of approval by the zoning department. You're welcome.
And thank you. And I also understand that now, in fact, I received a letter that this has been received. Van Blaricums, can you come up and update us on the historical designation? I know I received a letter and I can't confirm whether it was the application or if it was the actual awarding of the designation. Welcome.
Yeah, so we, Carrie has been working on, since the beginning of this whole thing, has been working on the historic tax credits as we promised the public that we would pursue. We've met the deadlines for pursuing that, for submitting the first application. It's a multi-stage process. The current stage we're in is that we go before the Virginia, or I guess it's the Department of Historic Resources on the 19th to get it designated as a, you can tell the full designation.
No, that's okay. There's two parts, two applications going on, but the one that you most recently received is for the National Register of Historic Places. So that goes before the board March 19th in Richmond too, which looks like it's a great property. Mike Pullis has been arm in arm with me working and submitting that application, as he is our region's historian or historic architect for this side of the area. And he works for Department of Historic Resources. So that's huge. So that's been many, many months of work with him this last year, helping push that through to get it. So that is a nomination, and we'll hear after March 19th if it's been approved. And then second to that is the historic tax credit program, which was referenced earlier. So that is an ongoing process that I've been, I have a reviewer, and you're technically not supposed to renovate the property before you get their 100% approval. But with the reviewer, I've been working for time constraints. I went ahead last year, as you've seen, and the renovations that have been done, I did based on someone who was a contractor and extremely familiar with the tax credit program. So he has had many submissions himself that have been successful. So I felt comfortable moving in that direction for the sake of our contract and performance agreements and that. So that's still a work in progress, but you don't actually get the final tax credit approval until right before your CO is obtained at that time. So those are a lot of the behind the scenes that's been going on. Any other questions?
Other questions?
So I just want to make sure from what our city attorney is saying is that the food truck is okay to do.
It's allowed to be there
It's
since
allowed.
it's considered a temporary use, yes.
And we are not doing anything with the zoning today. This is just an extension of the deed.
This is one of the performance obligations that they were required to complete, correct? Yes, not the zoning.
I just want to make sure I understand.
100%.
Well, we have you here. Thank you for that information. I hear a lot of interest in the perk. Can you give us kind of like a high-level overview of timeline or of how things are looking? I know you can't maybe swear to an opening date, but
No, I wish it didn't take this long. As you guys know, half of you are on this journey of perseverance and patience. So I really hope, asking for a year, I hope that's more than what I need. As we lost Nook Van Co. in a fire last April, so we're coming up on a year of just massive tragedy and change of livelihood, and that changes where money and resources also go. So I am thankful, after sort of that process that we've been through, that we're looking up and moving forward. So really the very next steps are continuing this state application. Surveyors need to come back to the property for me, and we've got some grading to do. So I'll leave that to their expertise as to how much, around the exterior of the building and then the interior as well. So
Yeah, we're hopeful. We'd love it to be already done, but life throws other things at you sometimes. And so we have, like Carrie spoke to, we've had the tragedy in April of Nook Van Co. burning to the ground with, so overnight we lost $3 million, and that we're still trying to fight the insurance company to get money back for our customers and our employees. But through that, we reallocated our resources to keeping all of our employees. And so with the community's help and a lot of other things, we were able to keep all 20 of our employees employed the whole time. And we've reopened, but obviously there's trade-offs in life. And so the trade-off is that we still were working on the back end of it, the historic tax stuff, the preservation, but it took a back burner to allocating our resources, because people matter more than the property.
but it's going to be beautiful when it's done. So I can't wait till I actually have some renderings. I'm looking at doors and mantles and some more fun things for the inside now, which feels like there is light at the end of the tunnel. At this point.
Thank you all for
Yeah.
your perseverance.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Volleson?
Aye.
Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez Jones? Vice Mayor McGuire?
Aye.
Mr. Nash?
Aye.
Mayor Cobb?
Aye, the ordinance is adopted. Thank you all. Now I'll turn to Ms. Turner for comments.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have 3 comments for today. Public Works Stormwater Utility will begin 2 downtown drainage improvement projects this spring to address reoccurring street ponding during heavy rain. First Street Downtown project is the first. Additional stormwater inlets along First Street Southwest between Luck Avenue and Kirk Avenue. These improvements will increase system capacity and improve runoff removal during heavy rainfall. The second project will take place on Kirk Avenue between Jefferson Street and Market Street. This project will add 3 new stormwater inlets to further enhance downtown drainage during major rain events. Project scheduling has been carefully planned to avoid impacts to Martin St. Patrick's Day event and ensure completion before the Blue Ridge Marathon in April. Together, these projects provide targeted, near-term improvements to downtown stormwater management while continuing to support local businesses and major community events. Number 2, last week, staff removed shrubbery, at the municipal building near the 2nd Street entrance as part of our continued efforts to improve both the appearance and functionality of this important civic space. In the coming weeks, crews will level and mulch the beds in preparation for new planting scheduled for the spring season. These updates will refresh and modernize the entrance while also improving visibility of building signage and creating better access to the adjacent lawn area. Overall, these enhancements will result in a cleaner, more welcoming, and more accessible entry point for residents, visitors, and staff. And my last comment, last month, I shared that the skate park ribbon cutting was scheduled for Friday, March 6, 2026 at 1:30 p.m. To ensure that our community partners who help make this project possible are able to attend, we have made one final adjustment to the date. The ribbon cutting has been rescheduled for the last time and will now take place on Friday, March 13th, 2026 at 1:30 p.m. We look forward to celebrating this exciting addition to our community together.
Thank you. We are looking forward to that. All All right, we have no reports from our city attorney or director of real estate valuation, so we will move to reports of committees. And we have a report of the Roanoke City School Board requesting appropriation of funds for various educational programs and a report of the city manager recommending that city council concur in the request. Before we consider this, we have two conflict of interest statements, and I'll turn to the vice mayor and Councilwoman Sanchez Jones to read those into the record.
I, Vivian Sanchez Jones, state that I have a personal interest in item number 8.1 on the March 2nd, 2026, 2 p.m. agenda regarding a general appropriation of funds because I am an employee of the City of Roanoke Public School Division, and as such, I have a personal interest in this matter. Therefore, in accordance with Virginia Code Section 2.2-3112, I will refrain from participation in this matter. And I ask that the city clerk accept this statement and ask that it may be made a part of the minutes of this meeting.
I, Terry McGuire, state that I have a personal interest in item number 8.1 on the March 2nd, 2026, 2 p.m. agenda regarding a general appropriation of funds because I am an employee of the City of Roanoke Public School Division, and as such, I have a personal interest in this matter. Therefore, in accordance with Virginia Code Section 2.2-3112, I will refrain from participation in this matter. I ask that the city clerk accept this statement and ask that it be made a part of the minutes of this meeting.
Thank you both. And we have one measure, a budget ordinance, and I'll ask for a motion and second.
I make the motion.
Second.
Thank you, Council Members Powers and Nash. Madam Clerk, will you please read the title paragraph?
An ordinance to appropriate funding from the Commonwealth federal and private grant for various educational programs, amending and reordaining certain sections of the 2025-2026 school grant fund appropriations for fiscal year 2026 and dispensing with the second reading by title of this ordinance.
Thank you. Any questions from council? All right. Madam Clerk, we are ready to call the roll.
Mr. Volleson?
Aye.
Ms. Powers? Mr. Nash?
Aye.
Mayor Cobb?
Aye. And the budget ordinance is adopted.
Okay.
Thank you.
The supermajority of the quorum.
Who's left?
Okay. all
Correct,
right.
yes, including the recusals, yes.
I was doing ESP with our attorney. Make sure. Are there any council members who are liaisons to any of our authorities, boards, or committees that have any reports for us today? Thank you, Mr. Nash.
At the most recent Housing Authority meeting, David Bustamante, during his report, commented on they've stopped receiving monthly crime reports from the police department for all of the Housing Authority properties and have to go through a FOIA process now to obtain those. And so if we could look into those, they've used those reports, one, to coordinate where they put their resources to help deter crime, to help make sure they're, going after troubled areas.
I can check on that.
So, yeah, thank you.
All right, any others? Okay. Then we will move into our motions and miscellaneous business. Any additional inquiries or comments by any members of council? All right, then we'll move on to our vacancies on certain authorities, boards, commissions, and committees appointed by council. And I'm going to ask Vice Mayor McGuire to report out our appointments and reappointments. And then when we prepare to vote, if council members could just respond with all nominees.
Thank you, Mayor. To the Architectural Review Board, council is appointing Anne Marie Carroll. To the Board of Trustees, City of Roanoke Pension Plan, the council is appointing Timothy Spencer. Also to the Board of Trustees, City of Roanoke Pension Plan, appointing Michael Crowley, who will need a residency waiver, Deputy Chief Michael Crowley. Also to that same board, James Yancey. And last but not least, Adina Reese Atmore. And James Yancey is going to need a residency waiver. All of those, 1, 2, 3, 4, were to the Board of Trustees, City of Roanoke Pension Plan. To the Board of Zoning Appeals, council appointed Dawn Erdman. To the City of Roanoke Finance Board, appointed Adina Reese-Atmore. To the Defined Contribution Board, also appointing Adina Reese-Atmore. To the Gun Violence Prevention Commission, reappointing Valerie Keppel. To the Regional Virginia Alcohol Safety Action Program Policy Board, appointing Deputy Chief Adam Puckett, who will also need a residency waiver. To the Roanoke Arts Commission, we are appointing John Weircheck. To the Roanoke Regional Airport Commission, we are reappointing Dr. N.L. Bishop, who will also need a residency waiver. To the Roanoke Valley Allegheny Regional Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy Committee, we are reappointing Matt Clark. And that's it. Thank you.
Madam Clerk? Roll call.
Mr. Volleson,
All nominees.
Ms. Powers,
All nominees.
Ms. Sanchez Jones,
All nominees.
Vice Mayor McGuire,
All nominees.
Mr. Nash,
All nominees.
and Mayor Cobb.
All nominees. Thank you all for that work. And there being no further business set forth to come before this council, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.